Welcome into Studio B. My name is Jyoti Bainey, and this is an all-levels Vinyasa practice called Moon Salutation Magic. So as the title implies, we're going to be working and flowing through Chandra Namaskaram today, or Moon Salutations. This is a practice that is really great for a number of reasons. Specifically, if you are an individual that experiences a menstrual cycle, this is great on those lower energy days. It's also great if you're anyone that is dealing with a shoulder or a wrist injury, or just being a little bit more delicate with those parts of the body, because there's no down dogs, there's no vinyasas. This is a really calming, soothing practice. So let's jump right in. We're going to get started standing today. Let's find a slightly wider stanced mountain pose, feeling those feet settling on your mat, lengthening the arms towards the mat, and closing the eyes or settling them on something that's not going to move. Bringing the awareness up to the top of the head. And as we start to drop into this more calming, soothing practice, thinking of drawing the energy in and down. A sense of grounding, anchoring, feeling rooted in the body. Feeling a sense of awareness as you drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feeling that awareness trickle down the arms as the fingertips reach towards the floor. Allowing your awareness to move down each vertebra of the spine as you feel your spine get tall and elongated. That sense of awareness moving through the pelvis, down the legs, into the soles of the feet, as you feel that point of contact of your feet on the mat. Allowing this practice to give you a sense of being rooted and yet being able to flow. Taking one more breath here in this really grounding mountain pose, Tadasana, the foundational pose for all other standing shapes that we take in the practice. And then blinking open the eyes, we'll move into a really gentle opening flow here. Circle sweep the right arm out and up, leaning to your left, crescent moon bend, moving into that moon energy. Inhale here. Exhale, soften the knees, round yourself forward, and standing up, reach the arms wide. Inhale. Exhale, fold to your right. Inhale here. Exhale, soften, round, and fold. Inhale, arms reach wide. Fold to your left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and soften. Inhale, big and wide. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right here. Exhale, round and soften. Once more each side. Inhale, get long. And fold to your left. Inhale, opening up that side body. And rounding and folding in. Inhale, long. And to your right. Inhale here. Exhale, round and softening. Half salutation with a little twist. Inhale. Folding over the legs. Let's take this first round slow. Bring your left hand to the middle of your mat. Keep your right leg straight, but bend your left knee deeply. Sweep your right arm to the ceiling, revolving that Uttanasana forward fold. As you press down through the left palm, reach those right fingertips up. And then looking down, unfolding, straightening that left leg. Circle sweep the arms rising all the way up, and we'll twist again here. Keep the left arm reaching up. Drop the right arm back just parallel to the floor, looking towards the palm of your right hand. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands into the midline. Other side, here we go. Inhale, getting that sense of flow in the body while rooting down over the legs. Right hand to the center of the mat, left leg straight. Bend your right knee, sweep the left arm up. Couple breaths here. Allowing this warm up just to start to ease the body into the practice. Remembering we're bringing that energy in and down today. Look down at the mat, unraveling Uttanasana. Circle sweeping out and up. and palms to the midline. We'll do that twice more each side. Inhale. Let the repetition be soothing and calming over the legs. Left hand middle of the mat, twisting to your right as the left knee bends. Inhale. And folding in. Circle sweeping. And to the midline. Big in-breath in. Bringing that energy in and down as you fold. Right palm down, right knee bends, twist to your left. Inhale. And unravel. Let the in-breath pick you up. Palms together once more each side. This twisted half salutation. And folding. Left palm down, right arm up. And folding. Circle sweeping out and up. Take that twist standing, left arm up, right arm back. And lift up. And bring in. Last side, inhale. And folding. Right palm down, twist to your left. And fold. Circle sweep to rise. Keep the right arm up, twist to your left. And coming up and bringing it in. If you're in the middle of the mat like I am, take yourself to the front of your space as we move into the first of what will be 4 rounds of Chandra Namaskaram. Again, this Chandra Namaskaram moon salutation is meant to be soothing, calming, grounding. Circle sweep both arms out and up. Crescent moon fold to your left. Taking this first round nice and slow, coming up and to your right. Coming up, we'll step the left foot back and wide, landing in a star position. Heels slightly turn in, arms reach up, 5-pointed star. Give ourselves a couple breaths here. Feeling really long, strong through the legs, taking up our space in the shape. And then we'll drop down into goddess position, bending the elbows, bending the knees, lowering into that goddess. Settling in, knowing that you could have a pretty shallow goddess if you're feeling a little bit fatigued today, or if you have a little bit more energy, dropping in a bit lower. Feeling the breath. This is how the practice is now. And then we'll face the back of our mat, Trikonasana triangle pose, straightening the legs, elongating the arms, reaching long. Left hand could come to the shin, to a block, or to the floor. And because we're going to be moving through 4 rounds of Chandra Namaskaram, really giving ourselves permission to take this first round exceptionally slowly, not rushing any part of this sequence. We'll start to pivot into pyramid pose, looking down at the mat, lowering the right hand, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Inhale, lengthening the spine and folding in. And because this is still a little early in the practice, you might find the hamstrings are still slowly opening up. Maybe there's some tenderness there. So giving yourself permission to take a more shallow position if that's really meeting the body where it is right now. We'll start to lower into Anjaneyasana, low lunge, bending your left knee, letting the right knee settle down. Maybe walking the hands up onto the left thigh and just staying there. So much of the energy of this Chandra Namaskaram is rooted from the pelvis down. So into these more, there's the thicker bones of the body, the more stable parts of the body. We tend to find the bigger bones, the bigger structures of the body are from the pelvis down, which is where we're really housing the energy of this sequence. Moving into Skandasana, skater's pose. Walk your hands to the right. We'll take a more elevated skater's pose this first time. So tuck the right toes, turn to face the long edge of your mat, finding yourself into this slightly higher skater's position. Deep bend in that left knee. Inhaling here. Now we start to reverse the whole sequence. So we skate over to the other side of the mat, finding that upright skater. Noticing my left leg is really straight, right knee deeply bent, getting a beautiful stretch in the inner thigh groin region of the body. And then again, reversing, we move into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. Right knee bends, left knee finds the surface of your mat. Walk the hands up onto the thighs, settle in, couple breaths here. So if you think about the counter flow to Chandra Namaskaram, Surya Namaskaram, sun salutations. Sun salutations have a lot of opening in the heart center, a lot more back bending energy, a lot more work in the upper body with the chaturangas and the downward facing dog, very heating. And the energy in that Surya Namaskaram, sun salutation, is going up and out. One more breath here. Continuing to reverse the sequence, pyramid pose, hands down, tuck the left toes, lifting the left knee. We've got railroad track stance with the feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and fold in pyramid. And what we find here in the Chandra Namaskaram is in opposition to the sun salutation, we have the energy coming in and down. As opposed to being heating, it's cooling. As opposed to being invigorating, it's soothing. This sense of coming into ourselves. Triangle pose, right hand could come to the floor, block, or the right shin, opening the side body, finding Trikonasana. Knowing that the practice doesn't always have to be that sun energy kind of practice, that there's real value in incorporating the more moon energy practices. Let's soften the right knee, lifting up. We'll find our goddess position, turning the left heel in, settling down to goddess. And then stand up, take up your space, star pose. And then big step forward. Left foot meets the right, arms reaching up, fold to your left, crescent moon, and to the right. And that's one moon salutation. Bring the palms into the heart center. Elongate the arms. Give yourself a pause. We'll move through 3 more of those. This next round, we will start with the right foot stepping back. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up. And fold to your right, crescent moon. Inhaling and exhaling to your left. Inhaling up, right foot initiates, stepping back, facing the other long edge of your mat. Take your star position, and then dropping down and into that goddess pose. Full breath here, and settling in. Facing the back of your mat, Trikonasana triangle pose, lengthening the arms, folding in and down. Finding the breath in each shape. Keeping it full and complete. Pyramid pose, looking down, left hand comes down, pivoting onto the ball of the left foot. Give yourself that inhale to lengthen and fold in. We often think of the moon as the more feminine energy, softer in its quality, compassionate, forgiving. Coming into our Anjaneyasana, bending the right knee, dropping the left knee down, hands coming up onto the thigh. So welcoming in that feminine energy of compassion, softness, forgiveness. Skandasana, walking the hands to the left, keeping it quite high this time. And then starting to reverse by skating over to the other side of the mat. Reversing, dropping into your Anjaneyasana, right knee down, hands come up onto the thigh. What does that feminine energy look like in your body right now? How would it feel to invite in that soft compassion? Hands down, pyramid pose, lifting right knee. Taking out that element of striving and pushing that we so often feel with our sun-oriented practices. And welcoming in that energy of allowing and acceptance. Trikonasana triangle pose, right heel down, right arm up. Lifting up into your goddess. Right heel spins in slightly as you drop down. Standing up star. Stepping the right foot forward to meet the left. Closing it out with those standing crescent bends to the right and to the left. Coming up to center, bringing the palms together. A little micro pause here for a few seconds. Checking in with the breath. We think of the moon side of the breath as the exhale. So noticing how's the exhale just now. Moving into Chandra Namaskaram for the third time. Circle sweep the arms out and up and folding to your left. And up and right. Up to center, stepping the left foot back, finding that star position, taking up the space. Inhale. Exhale, dropping down, goddess. Opening to the back of your mat, Trikonasana. Finding that element of flow in a soothing, cooling way. Looking down, pivoting into pyramid pose, inhaling. And folding in. Dropping into Anjaneyasana, right knee down. Hands could come to the thigh. Maybe they reach up. If that feels too heating, keep the hands down. I'm going to add in one pose as an option that I often add into my own Chandra Namaskaram flow. Right hand down, moving into Cleopatra pose. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Drop open onto the pinky side edge of the right foot. Left toes spin out to face the left long edge of the mat. Drop the right hip, left arm lowers down. Taking a couple breaths here. It's a beautiful hip opener, lengthening through the side body, energy moving open and down. And then we come into Skandasana, skater's pose, reaching the left arm up and over, facing the long edge of the mat. You could stay high in your skater. If you prefer to come lower, dropping the pelvis down, lifting those right toes. And we start to reverse, skating to the front of the mat, Skandasana. Moving into that Cleopatra. So we'll come to the front of the mat, left palm down, right toes turn all the way open. I'm on the pinky side edge of my left foot, right arm up and back. Big breath here. Anjaneyasana, right toes face forward, left knee down, hand coming either to thigh or reaching up to ceiling, keeping it cool and soothing. Pyramid pose, hands down, tuck the left toes, coming up, Parsvottanasana. The pelvis is where life originates. It's that energy source of the body for creation, continuation. Trikonasana, spinning left heel down, left arm up. So I love that in this Chandra Namaskaram, I have the opportunity to bring the energy into that feminine creation, continuation part of the body, of the pelvis. Lifting up star position. Goddess. Standing up, taking up your space. Step forward, close it out to your left and to your right. Pausing, hands into heart center, lengthening the hands towards the floor, giving yourself a moment to check in, especially with the exhale, moon side of the breath. Energy moving in and down, a reflective practice. Last round of Chandra Namaskaram, circle sweep the arms. We start to the right and to the left. Stepping right foot back, facing the long edge of the mat, star position. Goddess. Back of the mat for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Full breaths. Complete exhales. Pyramid pose, looking down, pivoting to the ball of the left foot. Give yourself the breath in and the breath out. Anjaneyasana, settling in. Hands could come to the thigh or to the ceiling, remembering to keep it cool, compassionate, soothing to the nervous system. Adding on that Cleopatra, left palm down, left toes tuck, turning right toes forward, Cleopatra. Skandasana, all the way around, skater's lunge, remembering you could keep it high or low. And then skating over to the other side of the mat. Cleopatra, right palm down, turn those left toes out, reach that left arm back. Anjaneyasana, right knee down, hands either on left thigh or to ceiling. Parsvottanasana pyramid, tuck the right toes, coming on in. Trikonasana triangle pose. Goddess. Bringing that energy, housing it in the pelvis, where life itself originates. Standing up, star pose, taking up your space. And then smooth transition forward, closing it out to the right, to the left. Standing up, hands to heart center, then alongside the body, pausing, feeling those 4 rounds of Chandra Namaskaram land in the body. This sense of having moved in the body, but hopefully not feeling overheated, still feeling a sense of soothing, of calming in the body. Opening the eyes, bring the hands to the waist, widen the feet hip distance apart. Inhale, lifting the heart slightly. Exhale, folding forward over the legs. Taking your peace fingers, hooking them around your big toes. Padangusthasana, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, elbows bend in opposite directions as you fold forward. 3 breaths here. Hand to big toe, forward fold. You could stay here, or Padahastasana, taking the hands, Releasing the big toes and sliding the palms facing up underneath the feet. Toes are up near the wrist points. Inhale, lengthen the spine again. Exhale, softening the elbows and folding in. Allowing the soles of the feet to gently massage the palms of the hands. Beautiful relationship developing between these two extremities of the body. Feeling the breath naturally lengthen. And then releasing the hands. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Walking the feet towards each other as we lower towards a yogi squat. Bending the knees, coming onto the balls of the feet. Taking the hands up to the thighs and the front of the knees. And gently pressing them down as you slide the shoulders back over the hip points. So that the body looks as if it were in a capital L position. A little bit of core stability necessary here. The hands could stay on the thighs for a sense of grounding. If you'd like to challenge the balance, you could reach the arms forward, parallel to the floor. Or a final option would be to sweep the arms overhead, stacking wrists over elbows, elbows over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And then reaching forward, controlling the descent as you lower the pelvis to the mat. Bringing the feet down. You notice I have a block here, not required, but it may come in handy in just a moment. So have that within hand's reach as you come onto the back. Moving into a flow through bridge pose, bringing the feet about hip distance apart, tucking them in towards the glutes, but just until they naturally stop. We'll move through a bridge flow here. So as we push down through the feet, lifting the spine, arms float up and overhead. And then as you exhale, down, arms and pelvis landing simultaneously. Inhaling, arms up and overhead. Exhaling down, hands and pelvis land simultaneously. 3 more, inhaling up and over. And exhaling and down. 2 more, inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Last time, inhale and lift and exhale and lower. Moving into a very mild, gentle inversion, locating the block if you have one, lifting the pelvis and sliding the block just underneath the sacrum, letting the sacrum land on the surface of the block. Moving into waterfall position, elongating one leg and then both legs up towards the ceiling. The legs like a waterfall. So as we continue to embrace this energy of Chandra Namaskaram, that moon salutation, taking a very soothing and mild inversion, calming to the nervous system. Allowing there to be an element of effortlessness in the practice itself. Knowing that just as much as there is a time for fire and openness and heat, but there is also a time for coolness, slowing down, and dropping in. Allowing the knees to soften And one foot at a time to find itself back onto the mat. Pressing into the feet just enough to remove that block, placing it alongside you, and lowering the spine back to the mat, widening the feet the width of the mat, taking the arms out wide, palms are down, dropping both knees to the left for a gentle spinal twist. Option to place the left foot on the outer right knee. And final option to lift and turn the head to face the right arm. Allowing the back body, the moon side of the body, to settle gently onto the surface of the mat. And then if you place the left foot on the outer right knee, gently lowering that, turning the head back to the ceiling, knees back to center. Keeping the feet the width of the mat, let the inner knees come together, hands onto the low belly, pausing in resting pose for a few breaths. As you exhale, seeing if you can follow that exhale all the way into the belly, emptying it of air completely. Noticing the fullness of the inhalation that naturally occurs after that complete exhalation. And then moving into the spinal twist on the second side, separating the inner knees, keeping the feet the width of the mat, dropping them over to the right. Knowing you have the option to place the right foot on the outer left knee, as well as to lift and turn the head to face the left arm. And then turning the head back to center, releasing the right foot if it was on the outer left knee, knees back into center. Wiggling the feet towards each other, Supta Baddha Konasana, as you bring the soles of the feet together, knees opening wide, hands once again coming onto the lower abdomen or the hara. Focusing on the completion of the exhale here. The moon element of the breath. And noticing that when we allow that moon side of the breath to be complete, fully emptying ourselves, that the sun side of the breath, the inhalation, happens all on its own. A reminder that spending time cultivating a sense of groundedness, calming the nervous system, soothing the mind, often naturally result in more energy, more ability to be productive. Giving ourselves permission to spend time with the moon energy of the body. We'll spend about another minute here in silence. If you would prefer to take your rest position in a traditional Shavasana shape, you're welcome to elongate the legs and the arms. We'll move into a minute of silence now. Without moving your body, allow the breath to naturally deepen, followed by subtle movement in the fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. Maybe taking a moment for just a full body stretch, almost like a good morning stretch. And then in your own way and your own time, coming back up to a comfortable seat, where we will close the practice. Bringing the palms of the hands together, a gesture of profound gratitude to the body and the mind's participation in this practice. And also gratitude for all of the teachers that inform the way that I show up here with you. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. And may that light of truth overcome all darkness. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Sakaru Maharaj Ki.